Lawyers representing thousands of Palisades Fire victims say the hung jury in the criminal case could help their efforts to hold the city and state financially responsible for the damage. Last Friday, the judge in the case declared a mistrial after jurors revealed they could not reach a unanimous decision. Most were ready to acquit.
And our investigative reporter, Eric Leonard, has been following all of that action in the courtroom. He joins us live from the newsroom with the latest. Eric.
Hi, Annabelle and Jonathan. Well, the juror who spoke to us after the mistrial last Friday pointed to something she thought was missing from the criminal case that the civil attorneys say is central to their lawsuits. Why should the responsibility for the Palisades fire rest on the person accused of setting a separate, smaller fire days earlier?
It was the elephant in the room.
Attorney Alexander Robertson, representing fire victims, says it was telling that juror number 4 in the criminal case against Jonathan Rinderknecht had inferred that something didn't add up about the government's theory the Palisades fire was a so-called holdover fire that reignited days after the January 1st Lackman fire that Rinderknecht was accused of igniting with a barbecue lighter.
I don't think there was enough evidence to say he started the first fire, but say he did. I don't see why everybody else's negligence of doing things incorrectly, where he needs to be responsible for the whole Palisades. Now
that idea that firefighters or local government may be negligent for not putting out the first fire is the key issue in the lawsuits. But the judge in the criminal case specifically blocked Rinderknecht's defense lawyer from bringing it up. Robertson says it's now clear the jurors noticed.
Even though that evidence wasn't allowed to go to the jury, it was a huge gap, I think, in the government's case. And as some of the exit interviews indicated from the jurors, they were left wondering, why wasn't the fire put out?
The lawsuits allege it was the city of L.A., the state, and other agencies that failed to adequately prepare for and respond to the Palisades fire. The city and state have denied in court they should be responsible in any way and have said in court filings Rinderknecht, the person accused by the feds, should be the only person held responsible.
You're trying to pin this destruction of almost 7,000 homes and 12 lives lost on this kid who may or may not have started the January 1st fire, but what happened in those intervening 6 days when the fire is still smoldering?
Defense witnesses in the arson trial testified about seeing smoldering and smoke in the burn area for days after the January 1st fire. Some witnesses recorded videos showing smoke coming from the ground. Robertson says many of his clients saw the arson prosecution as something of a sideshow and says they're much more focused on the state and local government's responsibility.
If you convict the arsonist and you lock him up, there's some sense that, okay, he's not going to do it again because he's behind bars. But when you have a institutional failure, there's no comfort to all of these fire victims that can't repeat itself. It's not going to happen again. That's the accountability they're looking for, I think.
So federal prosecutors plan to retry Rinderknecht in the fall. He will remain in jail until then. All of these lawsuits are moving very slowly towards trial, though recently the state Supreme Court denied a request by the state of California to further delay those cases. Live in the newsroom, I'm investigative reporter Eric Leonard, NBC4 News.